And so just going to college in general was something that was never talked about. It was never in my vocabulary. A lot of my friends were going off to college. A lot of their parents and teachers really pushed them to go to college. But in terms of myself, even though I wanted to, it was something that was just never introduced to me or talked to me about. So when I graduated high school, it was just not on my radar. So I kind of did what a lot of my other group of friends did and just started to work right after high school.
The high school I went to in Arizona is one of the worst school districts in Arizona. So, in a weird way, I arguably went to one of the worst high schools in Arizona. In high school, there's really no talk of college in this kind of environment, no talk of going to undergrad. Very few people in my high school went to undergrad, and I had absolutely no intentions of, getting a bachelor's degree at all.
So I'm from a very, very small town, so a rural community. Population is very small. We know everybody pretty much. So I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of guidance into moving towards a professional career. So I kind of had to do a lot on my own, I felt like.
I really hadn't considered going to any kind of education beyond college. I always thought that was kind of like out of my realm and not something that was like possible for me, really.
My first time round, I actually was rejected from the CU-DPT program. And so that hit pretty hard for me to see, okay, well, and that was kind of like an eye-opening realization for me. Is like, okay, we can always do better. We can always do better.
For me, one of the largest barriers getting into PT school was I just didn't believe that I would be able to do it. My grades coming out of undergrad weren't astounding. And when you look at the websites for just pretty much all graduate schools, it's talking about these really high GPAs and people who are participating in a bunch of different things, and that wasn't necessarily me.
I had a little bit of a hiccup. I was just concerned. I was sitting in my first upper division biology class, which was genetics, and I just got a 33 out of 100 on the first test, and I was like, this is a horrible idea. Why did I choose to go to this school? Why am I getting my butt kicked in these biology classes? Like, why didn't I just kind of go into something that I knew that I liked?
Yeah, so just kind of trying to figure out who I needed to come into contact with and who would best lead me to a career path as a PT. And luckily, I was able to find and make connections with those people, some being friends, some being parents of friends that are in the medical field, and as well as just kind of PT mentors.
It is so important to find people who want to help you and find people who know more about the world and about the different options in the world for you. And I think that's just really important. It's really cool that you found someone that kind of helped you find, your passion in life.
If I can figure out how Andrew learns best, then it doesn't really matter what the content will be, as long as I know that I'm a good learner. And I know that I can handle, exposure to content and absorb it. And so he really taught me to think systematically.
Sometimes the path isn't always a straight shot. It's convoluted, but if you really want to get there, you can get there. And it's hard, and it can be overwhelming, and you can get down on yourself. But if you find the right people and take the right steps to get to where you eventually want to be, then you can definitely do it.
The only last thing I would say is keep your head up high, keep your chin up, and keep fighting for it. Like I said, it may be daunting at times. It may be something that you think, I'm never going to get through this. It gets easier. You just got to put your mind into it, take a second to back up, and just take a big deep breath. And I think that's something I've definitely benefited from the most.
I'm so glad I did, because I'm so happy in this program, and it's just dope. I love it.